The alarms screamed through Talon Prime like angry ghosts. Dr. Hannah Kim pressed her hands against her ears as she ran down the metal corridor. Red lights flashed on and off, making everything look like blood. All crew to emergency stations. Commander June Park's voice echoed from the speakers. The Falcon is back. Hannah stopped running. Her heart beat fast in her chest. The Falcon. 3 months ago, it first appeared on their space station. Nobody knew where it came from or what it wanted. They only knew it brought trouble. The creature looked like a bird, but it was not made of flesh and bone. Its body shined like liquid metal. Wings spread wide with electricity dancing between the feathers. Eyes glowed blue like stars. When it moved, the air itself seemed to bend around it. Hannah reached the main deck. Through the big windows, she could see the planet below. Green and blue with white clouds. Beautiful, but hiding secrets. That's where the Falcon came from. Down there in the old ruins that nobody understood. There it is, whispered Engineer Dae-yoon. He pointed at the cargo bay screens. The Falcon sat on top of a supply container. Its metal feathers caught the light and threw it back in rainbow colors. Around the creature, the air buzzed with power. Small sparks jumped from wire to wire. How did it get inside again? Asked Security Chief Min-woo. His hand stayed on his weapon, but he did not draw it. Last time someone tried to shoot the Falcon, their guns melted. Same way as always, said Commander Park. It just appears, like it walks through walls. The Falcon turned its head toward the camera. Those blue eyes seemed to look right at them through the screen. Hannah felt a chill run down her back. Sometimes she thought the creature could see into her mind. We need to get it out of there, Min-woo said, before it destroys something important. Like what? Dae-yoon asked. It already burned out half our power grid last month. Melted the water recycling system the month before that. This time it's sitting on our food supplies, Commander Park said. His voice was tired. If we lose those containers, we will have to abandon the station. Hannah looked at the screen again. The Falcon had not moved. It just sat there like a statue made of living light. But she noticed something the others did not see. The creature's head tilted slightly, like it was listening to something. What if it doesn't want to hurt us? She said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. Min-woo laughed, but there was no joy in the sound. Doesn't want to hurt us, he said. Tell that to the 12 people in Medical Bay. Tell that to poor Tae-hoon who still can't use his right arm. I know it seems dangerous, Hannah said. But every time it appears, we try to fight it. What if we tried something else? Like what? Commander Park asked. It's like talking to it. The room went quiet. Only the sound of computers and air filters filled the space. Through the screen, they watched the Falcon spread one wing. Electricity ran along the metal feathers like water. Talk to it, Min-woo said slowly. It's an animal. Animals don't talk. We don't know what it is, Hannah said. Maybe it's trying to tell us something. Maybe that's why it keeps coming back. Director King Soo entered the room. He was a small man with gray hair and tired eyes. He looked at the screen, then at his crew. Options, he said in one word. We could try the containment field again, Min-woo suggested. That worked so well last time, Dae-yoon said. It walked through the energy barrier like it wasn't there. Sleep gas, someone else said. How do you make something sleep when you don't know if it breathes? Commander Park asked. We could evacuate the cargo bay, Dae-yoon said. Seal it off and wait for the creature to leave. And lose our food supplies, Director Kyun-soo said. No, we need another way. Hannah stepped forward. Her hands shook, but she tried to keep her voice steady. Let me try to communicate with it, she said. The room exploded with voices. Everyone talked at once. Some said it was too dangerous. Others said it was stupid. Min-woo said she would get herself killed. Enough, Director Kyung-soo said loudly. The voices stopped. What makes you think this creature wants to communicate? Hannah pointed at the screen. Look at its behavior. It doesn't attack right away. It sits and waits, like it wants our attention. Every time we fought it, the creature could have destroyed the whole station, but it doesn't. It just disables a few systems and leaves. Or maybe it's playing with us, Min-woo said. Like a cat plays with a mouse before eating it. Maybe, Hannah said. But what if I'm right? What if it needs something from us, and this is the only way it knows how to ask? Director Kyung-soo was quiet for a long time. Everyone waited. The Falcon on the screen had not moved. It sat like a guardian watching over ancient treasure. "No," he said finally. "Too dangerous. We'll try the evacuation plan." "Wait," Hannah said. "Just give me 5 minutes. If it attacks, I'll run. But if it doesn't, maybe we can learn something." "Absolutely not," Minwoo said. "I won't let you commit suicide on my watch." "It's not suicide," Hannah said. "It's science. We came here to study alien life. Well, there's alien life sitting in our cargo bay. This might be our only chance to understand it." Commander Park looked thoughtful. "She has a point. We've tried everything else. Maybe a different approach would work." "You're all crazy," Minwoo said. "That thing has hurt 12 people. "'Cause they tried to hurt it first," Hannah said. "What if I go in with no weapons, no threats? Just try to show it I'm not dangerous." Director Kyung-soo rubbed his forehead. "The liability reports alone would end my career." "But think about the discovery reports," Hannah said. "First peaceful contact with an alien intelligence. Your name would be in every history book." That made him pause. Hannah could see him thinking about it. Fame was a powerful thing, even in space. 5 minutes, he said finally. "But you wear a full environmental suit. And we keep weapons trained on that thing the whole time." "No weapons visible," Hannah said quickly. "If it thinks you're going to shoot, it won't trust me." 3 minutes, Director Kyung-soo said. "And the weapons stay ready even if they're not visible." Hannah nodded. Her heart beat so fast, she thought it might jump out of her chest. But this felt right. It's like something she was meant to do. As she walked toward the cargo bay, she thought about all the alien creatures she had studied. Most were afraid when they first met humans. Fear made them dangerous. Maybe the Falcon was afraid too. The cargo bay door stood closed in front of her. Behind that metal wall waited something that could kill her with a thought. But maybe something that needed her help. She reached for the door control and pressed. Her hand against the cold metal surface. Time to find out which one it was. The cargo bay door slid open with a soft hiss. Cool air rushed past Hannah's face as she stepped inside. The environmental suit felt heavy on her shoulders, but she was glad to have it. The Falcon could kill with electricity, and she needed protection. The creature sat exactly where she had seen it on the screen. On top of the food containers like a king on a throne. Its metal body caught the overhead lights and scattered them into dancing rainbows across the walls. It's beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "Easy," Hannah whispered to herself. Nice and slow, she took 1 step forward. The Falcon's head turned toward her.
"Oh."
Those blue eyes fixed on her face through the helmet glass. Hannah felt like the creature was looking into her soul, reading her thoughts, judging her heart. The air around the Falcon shimmered with heat. Small sparks jumped from its wings to the metal walls. The smell of ozone filled the bay even through her suit's filters. Power, raw alien power sitting just meters away. "Hello," Hannah said softly. Her voice echoed in the empty space. "I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to understand." The Falcon tilted its head like a curious bird. But this was no ordinary bird. This was something that could bend metal with its mind and walk through solid walls like they were made of air. Hannah took another step, then another. The creature did not move, but the electricity around it grew brighter. Warning signs flashed on her suit's display. "Dangerous electromagnetic field detected. Recommend immediate withdrawal." She ignored the warnings and kept walking. "You keep coming back here," she said. "There must be a reason. Something you need. Something you want to tell us." The Falcon spread one wing. Lightning danced between the metal feathers. The food containers beneath it began to glow with induced current. But the creature made no move to attack. "That's it," Hannah said. "You're not trying to hurt anyone. You're trying to show us something." From the control room, she could hear Commander Park's voice through her radio. "Hannah, be careful. The electromagnetic readings are off the charts." "I'm fine," she said without taking her eyes off the Falcon. "It's not attacking. It's waiting." "Waiting for what?" Minwoo's voice crackled through the speaker. "For me to understand," Hannah said. She was close now, only 3 meters from the creature. This close, she could see details invisible from far away. The Falcon's feathers were not really feathers at all. They were thin sheets of some unknown metal that moved like living tissue. Its eyes held depth like looking into the ocean at night. "You're beautiful," she said. Frightening but beautiful. The falcon's head tilted the other way. It's almost like it was pleased by the compliment. The electricity around its body softened from harsh white to gentle blue. Hannah raised her hands slowly. The falcon watched every movement. I'm going to try something, don't be afraid. She reached out toward the creature. Her gloved hand moved through the electromagnetic field surrounding the falcon. Her suit's systems went crazy with warnings. Temperature rising, radiation detected. Power surge imminent. The falcon looked at her outstretched hand, then at her face, and back at her hand. Like it was trying to decide something important. It's okay, Hannah whispered. I trust you. The creature leaned forward. Its metal beak touched her gloved fingertips. The moment of contact sent a shock through Hannah's entire body. Not painful. It's more like being hit by lightning made of pure thought. Images flashed through her mind. The planet below, spinning slowly in space. Ancient cities with towers that reached toward the stars. Beings of light and metal working together to build wonders beyond imagination. And through it all, the sound of singing. Beautiful alien voices raised in harmony. The vision lasted only seconds, but felt like hours. When it ended, Hannah found herself on her knees, breathing hard. The falcon stood on the floor beside her, no longer perched on the containers, but standing close enough to touch. Hannah, Commander Park's voice was sharp with worry. Port, what's happening? Contact, she managed to say. I made contact. The falcon moved closer. Its metal body was warm against her arm. For the first time since arriving at the station, the creature looked peaceful. The harsh electricity around it had faded to a gentle glow. It showed me something, Hannah said. Images, the planet below. There's a whole civilization down there. Impossible, Director Kyung-soo's voice came through the radio. Our scans show only ruins. Not ruins, Hannah said, sleeping, waiting for the right time to wake up. She stood slowly with the falcon, walking beside her like a trained pet. But this was no pet. This was something ancient and powerful that had chosen to trust her. The creature isn't trying to hurt us, she said. It's trying to protect something. Something important on the planet. The falcon looked up at her. In those blue eyes, she saw intelligence older than human civilization. Wisdom that had watched stars being born and dying. Something else. Loneliness. You've been alone for a long time, haven't you? She said to the creature. Waiting for someone who could understand. The falcon pressed its metal head against her arm. The gesture was so human-like it made her heart ache. This being had been guarding ancient secrets with no one to share them with, till now. I need to go back to the others, she told the falcon. But I'll return, I promise. The creature stepped back and spread its wings. Not in threat, but in farewell. No. The metal feathers caught the light one last time, before the falcon simply faded away. Like smoke dissolving in wind, Hannah stood alone in the cargo bay. But she was not the same person who had entered minutes before. Something had changed inside her. She could feel it humming in her bones. A connection to something vast and wonderful. When she returned to the control room, everyone stared at her. Commander Park ran a medical scanner over her suit while Min-woo demanded to know what had happened. The falcon is gone, she said, but it will be back. How do you know? Director Kyung-soo asked. Because we're connected now, Hannah said. I can feel it out there, waiting, watching, deciding if we're ready for what comes next. Engineer Dae-yoon looked at his control panels with confusion. That's impossible. All our systems are running better than ever. Power efficiency is up 300%. The quantum processors are working perfectly for the first time since installation. The Falcon did that, Hannah said. When it touched me, it somehow improved our technology, made it work the way it was supposed to. One touch did all that, Commander Park asked. It wasn't just a touch, Hannah said. It was a gift, a test. The Falcon wanted to see if I would trust it. Now it's deciding if our whole species can be trusted. She looked out the window at the planet below. Down there, ancient minds slept in crystal dreams, waiting for the day when younger races would prove worthy of their knowledge. What happens if we fail the test? Min-woo asked quietly. Hannah touched her arm where the Falcon had pressed its head. She could still feel the warmth of that contact. Still hear the echo of alien songs in her mind. Then we stay children forever, she said. playing with toys while the adults wait for us to grow up. But she had hope. The Falcon had chosen her for a reason. Maybe humanity was ready to take its next step among the stars. 2 weeks had passed since Hannah first touched the Falcon. The station ran smoother than ever before. Computers worked faster. Health support systems used less power. Even the coffee tasted better because the water filters cleaned themselves now. But Director Kyung-soo was not happy.
I don't like it.
He said during the morning meeting, technology doesn't just improve by itself. There has to be a cost. Hannah sat at the conference table feeling tired. Since her contact with the Falcon, she had been having dreams. Strange dreams filled with singing voices and cities made of crystal and light. Sometimes she woke up knowing things she had never learned. The improvements are real, Engineer Dae-yoon said. I've checked every system twice. Everything works better now. Much better. That's what worries me, the director said. What if the creature is changing us without our knowledge? What if this is some kind of infection? It's not an infection, Hannah said. It's a gift. The Falcon is trying to help us. Security Chief Min-woo leaned forward. Help us, or control us. How can we tell the difference? Before Hannah could answer, the lights flickered. Everyone looked up at the ceiling. Then the Falcon materialized in the center of the room. The creature appeared like morning mist, becoming solid. One moment empty air, the next moment a being of living metal and electricity. It perched on the conference table and looked directly at Hannah. Hello again, she said softly. The Falcon spread one wing and touched her hand. Images flooded her mind. The planet below. A massive structure hidden in the northern continent. Ancient halls filled with sleeping minds. And a feeling of urgency. Time was running short. It wants us to go down to the planet, Hannah said. There's something there we need to see. Absolutely not, Director Kyung-soo said. We're not sending anyone down there based on alien mind tricks. The Falcon turned its blue eyes toward him. The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Frost began forming on the metal table around the creature's feet. I think it disagrees. With you, Commander Park said quietly. It can disagree all it wants, the director said. I'm in charge of this station, and I say no one goes down to that planet. The Falcon's head tilted. Then every computer screen in the room lit up with the same image. A map of the planet's surface with a blinking dot on the northern continent. Coordinates appeared below the map, specific location the creature wanted them to visit. Well, that's new, Day, Yoon said. It can control our computers now. The Falcon isn't controlling anything, Hannah said. It's asking. This is important to it. Important enough to risk showing itself to all of us. She looked around the table at her crewmates. I volunteer to lead an expedition down there, just a small team, to go look at whatever the Falcon wants. Us to see and come back. Too dangerous, Min-woo said. That planet could have anything down there. Hostile creatures, deadly diseases, toxic atmosphere. Our scans show the air is breathable, Pilot Yoon-ji said. She had been quiet until now, but everyone knew she was the best shuttle pilot in the fleet. And I've been studying the weather patterns. There's a clear landing zone near those coordinates. Director Kyung-soo rubbed his temples. This is insane. We're talking about visiting an alien world based on the wishes of a creature we don't understand? We understand it better now, Hannah said. The Falcon has had dozens of chances to hurt us. Instead, it keeps trying to help. That has to mean something. The creature looked at each person around the table. Then it did something none of them expected. It bowed its head like a bird asking for food, a gesture of respect, maybe even pleading. It's asking us to trust it, Hannah said. One more time. Archaeologist Bo Ram cleared her throat. She was a small woman with gray hair who had studied ancient ruins on a dozen worlds. The scans do show extensive structures down there. If there really is a lost civilization, we could learn things that change human history. Or get ourselves. Killed trying, Min-woo said. Everything worth doing carries risk, Bo Ram replied. This could be the greatest archaeological discovery ever made. Director Kyung-soo was quiet for a long time. The Falcon waited patiently on the table. Its metal body reflected the lights from the computer screens, showing the planet coordinates. Small. Team, he said finally. 4 people maximum. In and out in 6 hours. Any sign of trouble, and you evacuate immediately. Hannah felt relief flood through her. Thank you. I won't let you down. I hope not, the director said. 'Cause if something happens to you down there, I'll have to explain to Earth. And why I let you go on an alien creature's recommendation. Next morning, the Shuttle Bay 5 was busy with preparation. Yoonji ran pre-flight checks on the shuttle Thundercloud, while Bo Ram packed archaeological equipment. Security officer Tae Yang loaded weapons and survival gear. Hannah had argued against bringing Tae Yang, but Director Kyung Soo insisted. Someone with military training had to go in case they encountered hostiles. The young officer seemed excited about the mission, but something in his eyes made Hannah nervous. Ready for our little adventure? Tae Yang asked as he secured the weapons locker. This isn't an adventure, Hannah said. It's first contact with an ancient civilization. We need to be respectful. Right, he said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Rightful. The Falcon appeared just as they were boarding the shuttle. It landed on Hannah's shoulder and rode with them to the launch bay. Through the creature's touch, she could feel its excitement mixed with worry. Whatever waited on the planet below was important. Maybe more important than any of them realized. Thundercloud launched smoothly into the void between station and planet. Through the windows, they could see the world growing larger. Green continents and blue oceans under white clouds. It looked peaceful. Beautiful, even. Atmosphere composition is good, Yoonji reported from the pilot's seat. Temperature normal. No signs of industrial activity or large life forms. What about small life forms? Bo Ram asked. Plenty of those. But nothing bigger than what you'd find in Earth's forests. They descended through the clouds toward the coordinates the Falcon had shown them. Below them, the landscape revealed itself in patches between the white mist. Rolling hills covered in strange trees with silver leaves, rivers that sparkled like liquid diamonds. And in the distance, something that made them all lean forward to see better. A city, not ruins, not broken stones and fallen pillars. A city of crystal and metal that rose from the forest like a crown of jewels. Towers that twisted toward the sky in impossible spirals. Bridges that spanned the air with no visible support. And over everything, a soft glow that pulsed like a heartbeat. My God, Bo Ram whispered. It's intact. After all these thousands of years, it's still intact. How is that possible? Tae Yang asked. The Falcon on Hannah's shoulder trembled with what felt like joy. Through their connection, she sensed the creature's happiness at returning home. This place was special to it, sacred. We're about to find out, she said as the shuttle settled toward a landing pad. That it seemed to grow from the crystal ground itself. The moment Thundercloud touched down, the city around them came alive. Lights began moving through the crystal. Walls like water flowing uphill. Musical tones filled the air. Not mechanical sounds, but something organic. It's like the city itself was singing. Welcome home, Hannah said to the Falcon. The creature spread its wings and took flight, circled the shuttle once, then headed toward the tallest tower in the city center. Clearly it wanted them to follow. Well, Yoonji said as she shut down. The engines? I guess we're really doing this. They gathered their equipment and stepped out onto the alien world. The air smelled of flowers and ozone. Ground beneath their feet felt warm despite being made of crystal. And everywhere around them, the ancient city hummed with life that had waited eons for visitors to arrive. Stay close, Hannah said. And remember, we're guests here. This isn't our world. But as they walked toward the singing towers, she couldn't shake the feeling that maybe it could be. Maybe that's what the Falcon had been trying to tell them all along. The crystal city sang around them as they walked through its glowing streets. Every step they took made the ground beneath their feet pulse with soft light. The towers above them hummed with ancient power that felt alive and aware. Hannah followed. The Falcon as it flew from spire to spire, leading them deeper into the city. Through their connection, she could feel the creature's joy at being home, but also its nervousness. Something important was about to happen. This place is incredible, Bo Ram said, as she recorded everything with her scanner. The architectural principles shouldn't work. Those bridges have no support, but they're carrying tons of weight. Maybe they don't need support, Yoonji said. Maybe they're held up by something we don't understand yet. Tae-Yang walked behind them, scanning for threats. His weapon stayed ready in his hands even though they had seen no danger. Something about his behavior made Hannah uneasy, but she couldn't put her finger on what. The Falcon led them to a massive building in the center of the city. It looked like a temple made of living crystal that changed colors as they watched. Purple to blue to green to gold. The walls themselves seemed to breathe. "I think we're supposed to go inside," Hannah said. The entrance was an archway that opened. As they approached, no doors, just an opening that appeared when they needed it. Beyond the arch lay a hall filled with floating lights that danced in patterns too complex to follow. They entered the temple together. The moment they crossed the threshold, the singing grew louder. Not sound coming from speakers, but music that seemed to rise from the crystal walls themselves. Beautiful and alien, and somehow familiar. "Look at this," Boram whispered. The walls of the temple were covered in symbols that glowed and shifted, like living things. Pictures that told stories, and I could see beings that looked like the Falcon working alongside creatures made of pure light. Building cities, creating wonders, reaching toward the stars. "It's their history," she said. "The story of whoever built this place." The Falcon landed on a pedestal in the center of the hall. The moment its feet touched the crystal surface, the entire temple blazed with light. The symbols on the walls moved faster. The singing grew to a crescendo that made their bones vibrate. Then a voice spoke. Not out loud, but directly into their minds. "Welcome, young ones. We have been waiting," Hannah gasped. Beside her bow, Ram dropped her scanner. Even Tae-Yang lowered, his weapon in shock. Someone or something was talking to them telepathically. "Who are you?" Hannah asked aloud. "We are the Void Singers," the voice replied. "Once we had bodies like yours, now we are something more. We transcended flesh to become one with the cosmos itself." Images filled their minds. The beings who had built this city long ago. They had started as creatures of flesh and blood, not unlike humans. But over millions of years they had evolved beyond physical form. Their consciousness had merged with technology to become living guardians of space itself. "The Falcons are our children," the voice continued. "Created to watch over worlds where younger races might one day prove worthy of our knowledge." "Knowledge of what?" Boram managed to ask. "How to transcend the limitations of matter and energy, how to become more than what you were born to be, how to join the community of advanced beings who guide the development of the universe." Tae-Yang stepped forward. His weapon was back in his hands and pointed at the Falcon. "Enough talking," he said. "I want to see this technology. Show us how it works." "You are not ready," the voice replied.
Ow.
"Your species must prove itself worthy. Through wisdom and restraint." "I think we're ready now," Tae-Yang said. He pulled out a small device that Hannah didn't recognize. "This is a quantum transmitter. My real employers back on Earth are very interested in what you have to offer." "Tae-Yang, what are you doing?" Hannah demanded. "My job," he said with a cold smile. "Earth Defense Corps sent me to acquire alien technology by any means necessary. Nothing personal." He activated the transmitter. A signal burst from the device and shot toward space. Within seconds, Hannah's communication badge crackled with Commander Park's voice. "Hannah, we have a problem. Long-range sensors are detecting a fleet of Earth defense ships approaching our position. They'll be here in 6 hours. You called for military backup," Yoonji said to Tae-Yang. "Without authorization." "I have all the authorization I need," he replied. "Earth Defense Corps supersedes Civilian Space Command. This discovery is too important to leave in the hands of scientists." The voice of the Void Singers filled their minds again. This time it carried disappointment and sadness. "We had hoped. Your species was ready to move beyond the need for force. It seems we were wrong." The temple around them began to change. The soft lights grew harsh. The beautiful singing turned discordant. Warning symbols appeared on the walls. "The city is going into defensive mode," Boram said as her scanner went crazy with readings. "We need to get out of here," but it was too late. Crystal barriers erupted from the floor around them. They were trapped in separate chambers with no way to reach each other. Through the transparent walls, Hannah could see her companions. I couldn't hear them. The falcon spread its wings and cried out. Not the beautiful sound they had heard before, but something like a scream of pain. Through their connection, Hannah felt the creature's anguish. Its people had been betrayed again, just as they had been betrayed long ago by other young races who chose conquest over cooperation. I'm sorry, she said to the falcon. Not all humans are like him. The creature looked at her with those ancient blue eyes. In them, she saw forgiveness, but also determination. The falcon would not let its people's gifts fall into the wrong hands. It took flight and passed through the crystal barriers like they were made of air. Rising toward the temple ceiling, it let out another cry. This one carried across the city and beyond into the atmosphere itself. Hannah felt the call through their bond. It was a summons, gathering cry that reached out to every falcon guardian in the system. The lone protector was calling for help. Above them, the sky began to darken. Not with clouds, but with wings. Dozens of metal falcons descended from space itself. Some came from the planet's upper atmosphere. Others materialized from the asteroid belt. A few seemed to step out of the void between stars. They filled the sky above the crystal city like a storm made of living lightning. Each one is magnificent. As Hannah's falcon, each one carrying the power to reshape matter and energy with a thought. Now you've done it, Yunji said to Taeyang through the crystal barrier. Done what? He asked. But his voice carried less confidence than before. You've made them angry, Hannah said. All of them. Through the temple's crystal ceiling, she could see the falcon army gathering. Their combined electromagnetic field was so powerful it made the air itself glow. In the distance, she could see their shuttle thundercloud rising into the air without anyone at the controls. The falcons were moving it to safety. The Earth Defense Fleet doesn't stand a chance, she said. These beings could destroy every ship humanity has ever built without breaking a sweat. Oh? Then why don't they? Taeyang asked. Because they're not like us, Hannah replied. They don't solve problems with violence, but they will defend themselves if they have to. The voice of the Void Singer spoke again. This time, it carried the weight of final judgment. Your species will be tested one more time. It's a choice you make in the next few hours will determine whether humanity joins the community of advanced beings or remains forever isolated among the stars. The crystal barriers began to dissolve. But as they faded, Hannah realized something had changed. She could feel the thoughts and emotions of every falcon in the sky above. The connection that had started with one creature now linked her to dozens. Power flowed through her like electricity through wire. The ability to control electromagnetic fields, to reshape matter at the molecular level, to step between dimensions as easily as walking through a door. She was becoming something more than human. The question was whether she could use these new abilities to save her species from its own worst impulses. Above them, the sky filled with the sound of approaching human warships. The final test was about to begin. The Earth Defense Fleet dropped out of hyperspace like angry wolves, 12 warships bristling with weapons and armor. Their hulls were painted black with red stripes, same colors humanity used when it meant business. Admiral Sung-ho commanded the fleet from his flagship Iron Thunder. He was a hard man who believed strength was the only language aliens understood. His orders from Earth's command were simple: secure the alien technology, eliminate any resistance. Admiral, his communications officer reported, receiving a transmission from Talon Prime. Towed it through, Sung-ho said. Director Kyung-soo appeared on the main screen. He looked tired and worried. Admiral, I must protest this military action. We have established peaceful contact with the alien entities. There's no need for force. Director Kyung, your people have been compromised by alien influence, the Admiral replied. My orders are to secure this system for humanity. Stand down and prepare to transfer all data on the alien technology. I can't do that, Director Kung said. We made promises to these beings. They trusted us. Admiral Sung-ho cut the transmission. Tactical, prepare for orbital bombardment. Target the alien city on the northern continent. Down on the planet's surface, Hannah felt the moment the warships arrived. Through her connection to the Falcons, she could sense their electromagnetic signatures, weapons charging, shields activating, minds focused on destruction. "They're going to attack the city," she said to her trapped companions. Taiyang smiled from behind his crystal barrier. "Good. Once we blast their defenses, we can take what we want." "You don't understand," Hannah said. "These beings could destroy your entire fleet without effort. The only reason they haven't is because they're hoping humanity will choose a better path." "Then they're fools," Taiyang said. "Strength is all that matters in the universe." Above them, the sky filled with Falcon guardians. Dozens had become hundreds. They moved in perfect formation like a single organism with many bodies. Their combined power made the air itself crackle with energy. Hannah's original Falcon landed beside her. Through their bond, she felt its sorrow at what was about to happen. The creature had hoped humans would be different from other young races. But fear and greed seemed to drive all species in their early stages. "There has to be another way," she said. The voice of the Void Singers filled her mind. "There is always another way, child, but your people must choose it freely. We cannot force wisdom upon those who refuse to learn." "Then let me try," Hannah said. "Let me talk to them." Power flowed through her from the Falcon guardians above. Her consciousness expanded beyond her physical body. Suddenly she could see the entire star system at once. The planet below, the space station orbiting overhead, the warships preparing to fire. She reached out with her enhanced abilities and spoke directly to every human mind in the system. "This is Dr. Hannah Kim. I'm speaking to you from the surface of the alien world. Please listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will determine the future of our entire species." On the flagship, Admiral Sung-ho jerked in surprise.
"How?"
"Is she doing this?" "Cut the transmission." "I can't, sir," his communications officer said. "She's not using our equipment. The signal is coming from everywhere at once." Hannah's voice continued to reach every human ear. "The beings who built this city are called the Void Singers. They evolved beyond physical form millions of years ago. They've been waiting for younger races to prove themselves worthy of joining the galactic community." On Talon, Prime Director Kyung-soo listened with growing amazement. Commander Park and his crew gathered around speakers as Hannah's words filled the station. "The test isn't about our technology or our weapons," she continued. "It's about our wisdom. Our ability to choose cooperation over conquest. Understanding over fear." Admiral Sung-ho had heard enough.
Ow.
All ships opened fire on the alien city, destroy it completely. 12 warships launched their missiles at once. Hundreds of nuclear warheads streaked toward the Crystal City. Enough firepower to turn the continent into glass. The Falcon Guardians moved. They didn't fight the missiles. They simply absorbed them. Hundreds of metal birds spread their wings and drew the nuclear fire into themselves like lightning rods collecting storm energy. The weapons vanished into their bodies without a trace. "Impossible," Admiral Sunho whispered. "Not impossible," Hannah's voice reached him again. "Just beyond your current understanding, the Void Singers could destroy your fleet with a thought, but they won't, because they don't believe in solving problems through violence." She paused too. Let that sink in. Instead, they're offering us a choice. We can take their knowledge by force and remain forever stuck as we are now. Children playing with dangerous toys, or we can earn their gifts through patience and wisdom. On the planet's surface, the crystal barriers around Hannah and her companions dissolved. Bo-Ram and Yoonji ran to her side, while Taeyang stood alone with his weapon raised. "You're making a mistake," he said. "Humanity needs that technology. We have enemies out there. Threats you can't imagine." "And how do you know about these threats?" Hannah asked. "Because Earth Defense has been fighting them for years," he said. "Secret wars against alien invaders. We need advanced weapons to survive." The Falcon on Hannah's shoulder made a soft sound. Through their connection, she felt its pity for the young officer. "There are no secret wars," she said gently. "The threats you're talking about don't exist. Earth Defense has been lying to you." "You're wrong," Taeyang said, but his voice carried less certainty. "The Void Singers have been watching our system for centuries," Hannah explained. "They would know about any alien threats." The only danger to humanity comes from ourselves. Above them, Admiral Sung Ho was learning the same lesson. His weapons were useless against the Falcon Guardians. His shields couldn't stop their telepathic communications. For the first time in his military career, he faced an enemy he couldn't defeat through force. Admiral, his tactical officer, reported, "The alien creatures are surrounding our ships. They're not attacking, but we can't move. It's like they've trapped us in some kind of energy field." Hannah's voice reached them again. "You have a choice, Admiral. You can keep trying to take what you want by force and fail. Or you can listen to what these beings are really offering." "What's that?" Admiral Sung Ho asked. "A chance to grow up," she said, "to become more than we are. To join a community of advanced civilizations that spans the galaxy." "At what cost?" he demanded. "Time," Hannah replied. "Patience, proving that we can be trusted with power that could reshape worlds. The Void Singers aren't asking us to give up anything except our fear and aggression." On the space station, Director Kyung-soo made a decision. "Admiral, this is Director Kyung-soo. I'm formally requesting that you stand down and allow Dr. Kim to continue negotiations." "You don't have the authority," Admiral Sung Ho said. "Actually, I do," the director replied. "This is still a civilian research mission. Military action requires my approval, and I'm not giving it." More voices joined the conversation. Ship captains who were tired of fighting. Scientists who wanted to learn instead of destroy. Engineers who saw the potential in cooperation rather than conquest. One by one, the warships powered down their weapons. "This is mutiny," Admiral Sung Ho said. "This is evolution," Hannah replied. "The chance for humanity to take its next step." Falcon Guardians began to disperse. It's not leaving, but spreading throughout the system. Some landed on the warships. Others perched on Talon Prime, each one seeking a human who might be ready to form a bond. "The test isn't over," Hannah announced. "It's just beginning. Any human who wants to learn from the Void Singers is welcome. No one will be forced. And no one will be given power they aren't ready to handle." Years passed. The Crystal City became humanity's first school for advanced beings. Students arrived from Earth eager to learn, but few were chosen by the Falcon Guardians. The creatures were patient but selective. They tested each candidate for wisdom as well as intelligence. Hannah became the first human to fully transcend physical limitations. Her consciousness could span star systems. Her understanding touched the deepest mysteries of existence. But she never forgot her humanity or abandoned those still learning. Admiral Sung Ho eventually requested permission to study at the Crystal City. His request was granted after he spent 2 years learning to put aside his need for control. Even Taeyong found redemption. The Falcon Guardians helped him understand that strength without wisdom was just another form of weakness. The galaxy watched as humanity slowly earned its place among the advanced civilizations. It took centuries. Some humans never passed the tests, but enough did to ensure the species would survive and grow. And through it all, the Falcon Guardians waited patiently, teaching when asked, protecting when necessary, helping a young race learn that the greatest power in the universe wasn't the ability to destroy, it was the wisdom to choose not to.